inflammation and disease. And so I'm going to look at it from probably a couple of different aspects. It's interesting that I'm doing this little chat today on inflammation and disease in conjunction with the chiropractor, even though they're not here. Because there's really only a couple of reasons people have inflammation or, I shouldn't say disease, but we'll talk specifically about inflammation. Inflammation is the result of an injury. So everybody knows that if they sprain an ankle or twist something or hurt something or get whiplash in an accident or fall off a horse or break something, there's inflammation surrounding that, right? It's part of the healing process. It's what the body does is to flood that area with, immune system components and blood and different things that are going to help heal that area. So that's a result. Inflammation is a result of some type of an accident or trauma to an area. And so this is a big reason a lot of people go to chiropractors, right? I mean, chiropractors help put things back into alignment. You go to a doctor if you need to get your leg reset because you broke your leg, and you might go to a chiropractor to get your spine aligned because there's nerves tied to every part of the spine, and that can help heal you faster. And a lot of people have actual spinal injuries, of course, the damaged discs and different things to their spine. And so that's a big cause of inflammation. I personally believe the bigger and the biggest cause of inflammation in the human body is acidity. And the overly acidic bodies. Now, what does that even mean? I love to say God is a chemist. So the body has to stay alkaline. The blood has to stay 7.4 alkaline. Standard American diet is full of coffee and donuts and soda pop and bread, pasta, pizza, crackers, all that stuff that we know is not good for us, but we do it anyway. And it creates a lot of acidity and inflammation in the body. And it's because there's a lot of waste byproducts to metabolism that if the body can't eliminate those acid wastes out through the kidneys and out through the colon and be processed through the liver, and the lymphatic system can't clear all that stuff out, then the body holds onto and starts to build up acidity, which is basically waste. Another way to look at it, it's like waste that can't leave your body. It's like you got a trash can at home and you never empty your trash can, but you just keep putting more trash in it. And so this is what our body's building up, these acid wastes. Now, I can see these clear as a bell in somebody's eye, especially people with blue eyes. You can see all the white and all the inflammation and all the acidity going on inside of people's bodies. I'm one of them. You can see it in my eyes. So this is the main reason people are suffering from arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis and degenerative pain conditions. This is why people get injured and they don't heal. This is why people get injured backs, and 5, 10, 15 years later, they're still suffering from that injury. Well, didn't God design a body to heal itself? I mean, how can somebody get in an accident, break 20 bones, and in 6 months they're perfectly healed? Yet some people get injured and they never seem to heal from it. There's so many factors that go into health and into our bodies, and a big one is nutrition. And so as we continue to put acidic things in the body, in other words, not eating a diet high in fruits and vegetables and greens, as long as we continue to put acidic things in our body, we're going to get backed up and we're going to build up acid waste. Now, if anybody took chemistry, which I took, remember taking chemistry in 9th grade, I don't remember when it was, but I learned that acids eat things, right? Acids eat things. And so acidic waste built up in the body starts to eat things. It starts to destroy joints and tissues and muscles. People work out too hard, they get a lactic acid buildup. It's the acids, hurting the muscles. There's just so many examples, but it's really all degenerative disease. It's a buildup of these acid wastes in the body. And so you want to, let's just say this way, if it's an acute injury, it's probably good to get it taken care of by a doctor, a chiropractor, get realigned or something like that. But if you've been suffering for 5, 10, 15, 20 years with chronic pain and inflammation, it's not just because your spine's out of alignment. And I love my chiropractors, believe me. But it's because your body's toxic. It's full of acid waste. And it needs to get cleaned out. Until we filter out waste out of the body, we're going to continue to suffer with pain and inflammation. You know, cancer is probably the worst deep-set acidity condition in the body. Rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia. I mean, you just go on down the list. They're all the result of an acidic body where wastes are built up and it's starting to eat away and degenerate tissues. And when you start to eat away and degenerate tissues, that's going to cause inflammation. That's going to cause pain. And so that's why so many people are in a chronic state of pain. So I just have to be honest with people, tell people the truth about why the majority of people are in pain. Now, a guy who just got bucked off a horse and broke something, he can tell you why he's in pain. But a lot of people can't explain or understand why they're in pain, why their shoulder always hurts, why their knees have been killing them for 10 years and then they have to get a knee surgery and on down the list. It's this issue of acidity in the human body. So I just have to stress that. So really the answer is cleansing, it's changing our diets, not putting acidic things in our body. What's acidic things we put in our body? All sugars. I mean, we've heard 8 million times sugar's bad for us. I mean, it's hard for us to stop just because we like it. It's not that we don't know it's not bad for us, but it creates acidity. It creates inflammation. All grains create acidity and inflammation in the body. And so, again, just getting back to a diet of fruits, vegetables, greens, those kind of things are going to help with any kind of inflammation type of issue in the body. Because you've heard of what's anti-inflammatory. Fruits, vegetables, turmeric, ginger, baking soda, things that are alkaline, things that are fruits and vegetables, herbs. I mean, these are the things that do the opposite. But standard American diet is, you know, the way I grew up was candy, sweets, lots of bread, pasta, pizza, soda pop. Like I probably drink a case a week at least. So it's all this constant acid in the body. Now, if the body's strong and resilient and can eliminate everything it needs to eliminate, you may or may not notice the horrible effects of that, or it might hit you later in life. But today we see kids sick that we didn't see sick 2 generations ago. And it's because of the accumulation of our choices to put processed foods in the body that damage and weaken the organs, and now it can't eliminate waste fast enough. So most inflammation is a result of a backed up sewer. Let's just put it that way, a backed up system. The body's designed to eliminate toxins, and if it can't, the result's going to be acidity and inflammation. One of the worst in these that happens in women is endometriosis, where the acids actually eat away the tissues and it starts to grow abnormally in other parts of the body. Debilitating condition for women. You know, they go to the doctor and they say, here, try some birth control, maybe that'll help. I mean, there's like 0 solutions out there in the medical community for some of these issues, because the real answer is us actually changing our diet and lifestyle, which not a lot of us want to take the responsibility to do, even when we know it's true. I've struggled with it, even though it's true. I teach it, and I still find areas where God has to continually bring me into alignment. So it's a process, and that's okay, and that's okay. So what you can do for inflammation and disease, since so many people are in pain today, is number 1, you can change your diet and your lifestyle. You can do what everybody out there says and we know we're really supposed to do, and but actually do it. So eat fruits, eat vegetables, eat lots of greens, make it 80-90% of your diet, exercise, do all those things we know we're supposed to do. Chiropractic is great because it aligns the spine. If you align the spines, you align the nerves. So I just had a thought. Hippocrates said, for all patient complaints, look to the spine and look to the bowels. So when an embryo is formed in the womb, the first thing that actually is formed is the intestinal tract. So in the intestines, in the intestinal tract, there are nerves that connect to every single part of the human body. In the spine and the spinal cord, there's nerves that connect to every single part of the human body. So if you take care of your spine and you take care of your stomach by eating the right things, you're actually supplying your entire nervous system and your blood supply with everything it could possibly need to be healthy and well. Does that make sense? So that is the key. That is the key to being healthy. And so you can align your spine. That's important. A lot of people know about that. And we're going to encourage people to get some chiropractic care. The nutrition part's hard because it's people taking responsibility. We have to learn, we have to get educated, but then we actually have to like take the responsibility. It's that old battle Paul talks about, like that flesh versus spirit thing. It's not always it's not always easy. That's why we're doing a 3-month summer detox challenge right now. And a lot of people are on board for 3 months. All we're doing is fruits and vegetables. I don't care how bad or debilitating or what kind of pain or sickness or disease you've had for how many years. You eat 3 months of fruits and vegetables, you're going to be better. You're either going to be 100% better, you might only be 20% better, but you're going to be better. Because these are things that God gave us to heal the body. And it's not just what we put in the body, it's more what we stop putting in the body. That's how we get better. What we stop putting in our bodies. Because a lot of people, oh yeah, nutrition, yeah, I juice every day. They juice in the morning and then they eat, pizza, pasta, and crackers the rest of the day, or whatever. I'm joking, but like we add an element in, but we're still totally blocking the ability of the body to get well. And so yeah, those things are important. Now, for pain management, because so many people are in pain and they have chronic inflammation, outside of diet, because again, I think that's the most important, and second most important would be chiropractic, just as Hippocrates said, spine and bowels take care of those two things. God did give us a lot of things that can get us out of inflammation. And I'm going to share with you a couple of my favorite things that I've given to people for years. One I didn't bring up here for show and tell, but castor oil packs. I don't know if anybody's tried those. My wife had some pretty bad back issues. I'll use my wife as an example. She's not here. That'll be fun. We actually met because she had chronic back pain. That's why we met. She did chiropractic. She did physical therapy. She is a physical therapist. And she's from Hawaii, and she came here, and it was wintertime, and she was shoveling snow. She should not be shoveling snow. But she was single, and she'd never shoveled snow before, and she threw her back out, and she couldn't move. She was debilitated. And she was in chronic pain for a year, did physical therapy, everything you could possibly imagine that she thought she knew to do. And then she heard about this new weird naturopath guy in town, and so she came and saw me, and that's how we actually met. And I don't know if I've ever told this story, especially on camera before. But what's that? So romantic, yeah. So it was funny because we talked nutrition, and she was into health. She had actually gone to OHI, Optimum Health Institute, did the wheatgrass thing, the juicing thing, all that kind of stuff. But she was into like health and the like, how do I still get all my yummy sugar healthy? Like she was doing lots of agave and the healthy sweeteners and all that stuff, which is kind of a transition for a lot of people that they like don't do processed foods, but let me do the healthy sugars, right? That's kind of the progression. But I've been through that. But anyway, I said, man, I really think that sugar could be affecting your back and your back pain. And she actually quit all the sugar, even the natural sugar. And it's funny, when we met the first time, she goes, I have some friends of mine that are going cross-country skiing in about 6 months, and 6 weeks, and I'd love to join them. And I'm like, okay, you've been in chronic pain for a year, but you want to go cross-country skiing. She totally changed her diet, stopped all the gluten, all the grains, all the sugars. She ate the fruits, vegetables, took a couple of supplements I gave her. She went cross-country skiing with her friends. 6 weeks later, being in chronic pain for years. So what I like to share with people is you don't have to be in pain. You don't have to live in pain. And if you learn the truth that nutrition matters, you actually end up choosing processed foods and junk food and choosing to live in pain when you can choose not to be in pain. I always say, God's not in the way you're healing. So it's really a choice. Now, I had her do castor oil packs. Amazing. The gal that I learned about castor oil packs from was in a car accident, quadriplegic from being in a car accident. Doctors told her she'd never walk. She knew about castor oil packs. She laid in bed on a castor oil pack for 3 months, completely healed. Wow. Yep, she works for the company now. It's called Heritage. Yeah, she told me her story when I was talking to her about castor oil. She said, if anybody will lay on a castor oil pack long enough, it'll heal about anything. And castor oil is funny because in Latin it's palma Christi, which is palm of Christ. And they nicknamed it that because it heals so many different people of so many different things. And so castor oil packs are amazing for healing, especially damaged spines. I gave her deer antler. Deer antler regenerates new nerves and helps new growth of new cells and new nerves. It's regenerative and restorative. So I love deer antler for that. I'm going to share with you a couple of other things. This is a joint formula we've used for years. It's called Joint Vibrance. And this is just kind of your standard. It's just a good blend, but it's got the collagen in it. It's got minerals in it. Your glucosamine chondroitin, everybody knows about that stuff. MSM, which is the sulfur, methosulfonylmethane. Boswellia, bromelain, grapeseed. So it's just a good formula. And I have a lot of people really like this because you can change your diet, but sometimes you actually have to take things that will actually regenerate new cartilage. And I have a product called type 2 cartilage. So you can actually regrow and regenerate new cartilage. And you can do that. The problem is most people's bodies aren't in a state of healing because there's so many acid wastes in their joints that it can't heal and regenerate. Remember, it's a breaking down. If you have broken down joints, arthritic fingers or knees, and my doctor told me it's bone on bone and there's nothing I can do about it, the only option is surgery. There's so many acids deposited in your joint that they can't regenerate themselves. But God designed you to regenerate yourself. So when you cleanse the acids out of your body, which you mainly do through your kidneys and your lymph, when you cleanse the acids out of your body can start to heal those areas that have been damaged for so long. The old creaky knees you've had for 10 years can go away. I don't care if you're 70 years old, you can do this. Again, that's the lie and the myth out there that, I'm old and that's just the way it is. And by the time I'm 50, I'm old and crickety. I mean, I hope not. I'm 42. I don't want to be crickety by 50. I always joke, don't call me middle-aged till I'm at least 60, because in Genesis 6:3, God promised us 120 years in spite of our sin. So I'm going for that. So let me tell you, though, my favorite thing on the planet. It's a fairly new thing, and I'm going to have to explain it to you because a lot of you might think this is a little odd. And so it's called CBD oil. Has anybody heard of the CBD oil? Hemp oil? Cannabinoids? Does that word sound familiar? Yeah, you can eat hemp seeds. Yeah, this is a little different. So CBD oil is from hemp. And the sister plant of hemp is marijuana. And we know that there's a little tiff going on out there about legalizing marijuana. A lot of people want to legalize it because, they're just silly and they want to get high. But there's a lot of people who want to legalize it because it has CBD and terpenes and all these other nutrients in it that does reverse and heal cancer, reverses tumors, gets people out of chronic pain and inflammation. It's the most amazing thing on the planet for stress and anxiety, and it really, really heals people. Marijuana is really high in THC, which is what gets people high. It also has in it CBD and the terpenes and some of the other things that heal the body. This is why the legalization thing's going on right now. The cool thing about hemp is it has almost non-existent THC. It won't show up on a blood test, or if it does, it's very, very minor. The only people that they encourage to not do it is anybody who has a no tolerance policy, which would be like government agencies. So if in the military or something, if it shows even a trace of a hint of anything, you're gone. But anybody who gets a standard test at their work or whatever, this isn't going to show up because hemp oil has almost non-existent THC, extremely low. But it's very, very high in CBD, which are the cannabinoids, which is the healing aspect of the hemp plant. Now, we're going crazy with this stuff right now, and we can't even keep it in stock because I ordered 12 and then 24 and then 48, now I'm ordering in hundreds. Because when people start to take it, it changes their lives. Chronic stress and anxiety, it goes away. I had a gal who I've been working with for 2 years with seizures, and she'd get a little bit better. We did the nutrition thing, worked on her adrenals, worked on all these different things, and she went from having multiple grand mal seizures and a lot of petit mal seizures daily to having no grand mal seizures and just 1 or 2 petit mal seizures every day. So it made a lot of progress in 2 years. I put her on the CBD. In 2 days, her seizures stopped. She went and got a job for the first time in 5 years, and she hasn't had one since. People with restless legs, it just disappears. And you can just go on and on down the list. Now, the reason there's a fight against marijuana and the reason there's a fight against hemp and CBD, because they're actually trying to make this go through the FDA now as a drug because it's so powerful, is I firmly believe that this one little plant could shut down the majority of the pharmaceutical industry. And so that's why there's such a war against God's things and God's plants. So I'm a huge fan of the CBD because we're just seeing, just miraculous changes. Pain, inflammation, stress, anxiety. You can put it on topically. And it's really strong. You don't need like a super high dose of it. And we're all kind of joking in our office. It's like, that's something you take and you feel it. Like, a lot of times you think, oh, is this working? Is it helping me? I'm taking resveratrol. It's a good antioxidant. Like, is it doing anything for me? Well, it probably is at the cellular level. You might not feel anything from it. But people take this, and it's like immediately. They feel different. They feel better. Pain starts to go away. And again, for stress and anxiety, I love holy basil, and I will preach holy basil till the day I die. But like this stuff is stronger, man. And I love holy basil and what it does to relax the nervous system. But again, the goal with what we're talking about today is inflammation and getting rid of inflammation and disease. And so not only do these things help with inflammation, but what they do is they calm and relax the nervous system. Well, the nerves in the nervous system is how everything functions in your body. And if your nerves are calm and relaxed, you're in a state of healing. And when you're chronically amped up or stressed or anxious, or your nerves are tight because of, you're hooked on caffeine or sugar or whatever, you're never in a healing state. You're never in a healing state. So this stuff can bring you back down to put your body in a position to actually heal. So that's why I love CBD and holy basil and magnesium oil foot soaks, transformational for people with pain and inflammation. The castor oil packs, joint vibrance. This is called Dodicin. I give this to people all the time. It's got like MSM, turmeric, boswellia, milk thistle, bromelain, all those things you've heard that are good anti-inflammatories. It's called Dodicin. That's a blend of like 12 different things for pain and inflammation. It works really well too. Developed by a medical doctor actually that lives here in Missouri that I know. So anyway, I guess my main thing I just want to share with you today is that I know there's extreme situations out there, and I've met a few people who have done all the right things and can't seem to get out of pain. But I truly believe that God has a solution for everybody. But I do feel that 98% of people, I just made that up, but 98% of people in pain, if they would learn the truth, could choose through their lifestyle choices to get out of pain. And we don't have to live this way. And again, it's never God's intention for us to live in chronic pain. Pain is a signal to let us know something's wrong. Like when my daughter's crying, I run into the other room to see if it's a little boo-boo or if it's a big boo-boo, because something's wrong. And when she touches that stove for the first time, it's probably going to burn a little bit, but okay, she won't probably touch it again. So like pain is a good thing that God gave us. But it's a signal and a warning of something that we should avoid or stay away from it, that there's a problem. And we need to listen to our bodies and restore what's out of alignment, not cover it up with pain meds, because what's the number one selling pharmaceutical drug in the entire world? Pain drugs. The class of drugs. Pain medications are trillions and trillions of dollars to the pharmaceutical industry, and they do not want you to know how to get out of pain. And what's my heart? Is that you find God in realigning with Him and understanding that He loves you. He doesn't want you to be in pain, but you have to choose His ways. And you can't continue to choose the ways of man and expect to get answers. Because what do pain drugs do to your body? They numb your nervous system. You don't get injured playing baseball. Go take a drug, numb your nervous system, and go back out on the field, because you'd probably end your career. But you wouldn't feel the pain. So that's what we're doing. We're numbing ourselves, and we're not changing. So that's my heart, that we would change, we'd find God in the change, and that we'd not live in chronic pain and inflammation. So diet and lifestyle first. All this other stuff helps. And yeah, that's it. Amen and amen. So the massage therapist is here. So for those who want to do a massage, there's some sandwiches there. I do 10% off on class days. So if anybody wants the CBD oil or the joint stuff or whatever, you're welcome to. Today'd be a good day to try it. Yes?
Question on that CBD. Would you recommend cleansing the acidity first before to feel its full effect, or could you start taking that right away?
You'll feel it right away. Anybody will feel it right away.
Somebody who has seizures regularly, I just wonder if that, along with the medications the doctor tells him to take, that he's
Yes.
been taking, that still would be effective.
Yeah, they can get off the medications doing that. I've seen it time and time again. There's thousands of testimonials out there that this will get people off medication. And again, this is what the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want people to know, because they're managing people's bodies and nervous system with drugs. There's no freedom in that. And so, yeah, anybody can feel the effects of this stuff immediately. Now, of course, you want to couple it with good nutrition and, all that, and do it all together. But yeah, it's pretty strong stuff. Any other questions? Yes?
My grandma has systemic tremors,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just progressively gotten more where she can barely walk sometimes. She's shaking so much.
Sure.
Do you think that would help with that?
I know it would. Yep. Any nervous system related issue, it's going to help. Parkinson's, neuralgia, restless leg, neurological issues, it's going to help. Now, again, there's probably acidity and inflammation, and I don't know if grandma's going to change her diet or whatever, but my gosh, get her a better quality of life and get her off the drugs. Even if she doesn't change her diet, I'm all for that. Like I said, my whole thing is like, get off the man-made system, get onto God's system. This is part of God's system. Even if you don't fully change your diet and lifestyle, at least get on natural things. Grandma will be here longer if you do those things. Yes?
In the beginning, you mentioned how your wife had all the sugars, including the plant-based.
Including the natural
The
sugures,
natural
yes.
sugars, you said. Would that be stevia?
No, that wouldn't be stevia, because stevia is just a sweet plant. There's no oats, there's no sugar in stevia.
Okay, so stevia's okay.
Stevia's okay. Yeah, that would mean like agave, maple syrup, cane sugar. Oh, it's organic cane sugar, so that means it's good for us. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
This thing of alkaline, whatever, getting your pH balance.
Yes.
I know you should eat differently to do that. Can you speed it up?
Yes. Good question.
Because I had a chiropractor many decades ago tell me he would take eggs and put them in a jar of lemon juice.
Hmm.
The calcium right off of them. Cool as all get out.
Interesting.
Drink it by the spoonful, it's full of calcium.
Okay.
And he said with that, neutralize the acidity in the body. I tried it, and that moved on. That sort of thing.
So his question was, is the acid alkaline thing, yes, it's important. Changing your diet helps, but can you speed it up? The answer is yes. What I've been focusing on lately with people with cleansing is the kidneys and the lymph are the fluid systems of the body. The lymphatic system is the cellular waste system of the body that removes all the acid waste out of the body. It comes out through the lymph. And the lymph dumps into the kidneys. And so I really focusing on, like, our kidney cleanse for the summer detox challenge is coming up June 1st. In 8 days, we're starting our kidney cleanse. And we're trying to get as many people on board as you can, because you get your kidneys healthy, you're on the ticket to getting better. I have never focused so much on the kidneys ever before, because it's all colon, liver, all that stuff's important. But man, kidneys are crucial, because that removes fluid acid waste out of your body. So you need to improve kidney function. I have a whole kidney cleanse for that. You do lots of apple cider vinegar, lemon juice like you mentioned, baking soda, one of the most powerful things you can do, herbs that stimulate kidney function and kidney flow, moving the lymph. You can totally accelerate this process. But the way you accelerate it the most is you go on a juice fast, or you go on a raw fruits and vegetables fast. The way you stop it and you never get better is you continue to eat grains and sugar and pasta and pizza and crackers and chips and all the stuff. That's how you never get better. And that's kind of where we're at. People change their diets and they feel better changing their diets, but they never cleanse and heal their bodies at a deep level, because most people, me included, most of my life, even knowing the truth, is you only do enough to feel good so that you can go back to eating the stuff that you really like. And you end up, especially if you're an understander of the true things of the Spirit, you understand that you're ultimately in a battle of the flesh versus the Spirit. Because when you do a cleanse and you feel amazing, why wouldn't you continue on this great path God gave you on the way to get better? But we don't. We go back to feeling sick, to feeling diseased, to having our stomach hurt. And it's like it's worth it to us. Our flesh is worth it to us. So to answer your question, and another little bit of a deeper level, we have to understand how amazing these bodies are that God designed. And your lymphatic system's over 100,000 miles long. You don't cleanse out 100,000 miles of acidic blocked tubes in a 21-day cleanse. We'd all like to think so. But this is why we have to do permanent lifestyle changes and not have a temporary mindset if we're really going to get better in today's culture. Because if we did all the right things from the beginning, we wouldn't be in this mess. But we've come so far to block up this body of 100,000 miles plus the tubes all blocked up that it takes a lot of time and effort to reverse all of that. And just to get to the point where we have pain and inflammation takes a lot of backup and toxicity in the body. So yeah, you can accelerate it, but you really got to work on your diet, your lifestyle, exercise, water, fluid, hydrations, kidneys, lymphatic system, herbs. You have to fully embrace what God gave us and desires that we would do to align with Him to be healthy. So it takes work. And that's the truth. And that's why so many people don't get well. That's why the majority of people, even if they learn the truth, won't choose into this because it's work. So now that I've silenced the crowd. Yes.
I have a question. You mentioned fruits and vegetables strictly on that diet.
Mm-hmm.
So salmon is out of the picture.
It's all acidic.
Bone broth.
And I'm not saying it's bad for you. I'm saying in a body that's full of acidity and inflammation, for it to get cleaned out, you have to stay away from those things for a prolonged period of time to get it out. Everything else is going to interfere with the ability of the body to cleanse.
So if you,
How long?
I can't know. Yeah, we're doing 3 months, and I don't. That's not going to be enough for most people, but it's a start. I mean, most people can't do a day. So if you can do 3 months, I mean, praise God. I mean, I've done 40-day water fast and 40-day juice fast, and I've never fully gotten well because I'm continuing to learn, and God's teaching me, and I'm just trying to share what I can. But I know that there's victory. It's just that if we can do the right things for long enough to achieve it. And how long, it's like, oh my gosh, I mean, there's people that seem to have an iron stomach and they got an acid reflux and they take a pill for it and everything else seems okay, and then there's people with third stage degenerative cancer that don't know how long they have to live. So how long? How long? Everybody's in a different place, a different situation. You all have different genetics, different backgrounds. You live different lifestyles. I mean, the things I joke with people, I look at people's eyes and I go, oh man, you need to work on your kidneys. But to what level, I don't know, because I always say, like, you could have been born on a farm, worked the farm 10 hours a day, sweating in the field, and ate food off the land. Or you could have been born in a city, ate junk food your whole life, stayed inside and played and were hooked on video games. Because we have both of those types of people in our world today. So how do I know how long somebody needs to cleanse or heal? But see, that's our culture. I'm not picking on you. You know that. That's our culture. Well, what do we have to do? For how long? How long do I have to do this? When am I going to be better? Because we want an answer and we want a solution and we want it now and we want to know, like, what's the bottom line? A bottom line is aligning with God long term, not short term. That's life long term. Choosing life and the life-giving things of God long term, and not short term, and not going back to the world and the things that we know are damaging us. Yes?
Do you know anybody that has maybe reached the point where they've completely cleansed and become alkaline and all of those things, and the toxins have been? Do you know anybody that has actually accomplished it? And if so, what does that look like?
That's a good question, because there's not a lot of measures for it, mainly besides how you feel. And so I'm still working on it. I know a lot of people who have healed from all kinds of, diagnosed with the disease, did all the right things, then they don't have that disease anymore. Their blood works great. The doctor's like, you're healed, praise God. Now, that's not always an indicator of perfect health. The only way I can really see it is in the eyes. And I have only been doing the iridology for 6 months now. But there are iridologists who are out there, have been doing it for 30, 40, 50 years, or Dr. Bernard Jensen, who dedicated his life to it, and they see it change. They see the acidity, the white, the color. They see all that stuff lift off the eye. Green eyes become blue again. So you can see the changes, but it takes a lot of work. And yeah, there's not a lot of good markers because blood work's not a good indicator. You know, we're so fooled by thinking that like blood work is our picture of health. The life of all flesh is in the blood. The blood is the last thing that God will allow to get compromised. If you got issues in your blood, you've had problems for a long time. The body will pull calcium and magnesium and iron, and it'll do all kinds of things and pull stuff from other areas of the body to keep the blood clean. So if you've got issues showing up in your blood, remember the medical system's looking for disease. It's not looking for health. It's looking for disease. That's why they use blood markers as an indication for disease, because you're far gone when you have blood issues. I don't know, I'm getting into a lot of random stuff today, but it's fun. So any other questions about inflammation? Well, the CBD oil, the capsule's a stronger version. It's 450 milligrams. And the liquid is not quite as strong, and it's drops under the tongue. So the capsule is just one a day. I tell people, most people don't need more than one a day. If you want to take one in the morning and you have a lot of sleep issues or restless legs or you can't turn your brain off at night or whatever, take one at night too. It's great for sleep too. Other cool thing about it is it doesn't make you sleepy or drowsy. It actually improves your mood and spirit. Helps people with depression big time. And so the capsule form or the liquid is just like 12 drops under the tongue. And so those are the dosages. It's so strong you don't need to take like crazy high quantities of it. So.
And you said you mixed that with the deer antler for some people. Did you say that you were recommending the deer antler and the?
I recommended my wife do the deer antler to help heal and regenerate her spine.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know about this stuff back then. But now, yeah, I mean, I give this to tons of people. It just helps everybody. So, yes?
Okay, so inflammation. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia 3 years ago.
Right.
And I noticed you actually did the dental health class before this. It
Yeah.
was interesting because during that same time, my teeth were, actually I went to a dentist. I hadn't been to a dentist in about 10 years, and he was like, I was expecting horrible sort
Sure.
of teeth and all that kind of stuff, but your teeth actually look amazing. And then a couple years later, I went from, I think, 1 or 2 cavities after that first visit to 26 cavities.
Wow.
And so I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I didn't want to take the medication. So I stopped taking the medication. I started taking just a vitamin supplement that, I mean, it was as pure as I had at the time. But it helped. As long as I took it, I didn't have the pain all over. My joints didn't ache all over, things like that. And then I ended up being rebaptized, and I was healed of it.
Praise God.
Instantly.
Woo!
Yeah,
Come on.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I was healed of it, but God did speak to me, and He said, you now have to change the way you eat.
Amen.
And He said it will come back. And so I really want to thank you, actually, because I found you on YouTube. I had no idea you were here in our area.
Oh, wow.
And I started to change the way I was eating, and I started fasting.
Yeah, yeah.
And I came across one of your videos, and I had started to understand the value of relationship with Jesus Christ, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
You know, the
amen.
whole book, it's just about developing that relationship. And then in one of the videos, you said He wants to partner with us, and it just struck me, and I had a vision. This sounds really weird.
No, this is good. It's good stuff, man. We're all like engaged.
But I had a vision, and I saw myself, and I was in the middle of this fasting, and it was difficult, and I was crumpled over, and you could tell I was tired, and you said that want to partner with me? Do you want to help me? And in my vision, he came into my vision. And he put his arm underneath mine, and he lifted me up. And I was standing straight and tall, and I knew this is the next step. This is the next step to developing that relationship. So I'm grateful for you, because I know God used you to give me that vision, and also to help alleviate the pain. Yesterday, I never would have been able to do this. Yesterday, I spent 3 hours planting a garden. I've never done that before,
Nice.
so we'll see if it works. I don't know, but I've done all these things that I wouldn't have been able to do before because
Yeah.
of how inflamed my whole body
Yeah.
would be. And so I know that this works. And I have only been eating God's food since.
Praise God.
For 3 weeks. And I was able to go on my first water fast.
Wow.
I've never been able to do that.
Awesome.
And it's just amazing how just putting just God's food in our body, how instantly we change. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, all those years of abuse, all those things that I did, you know, and I know I have a long road, but it's amazing how it changes. So the inflammation, I guess it's just a testimony of how
Yeah,
the
thank you.
inflammation disappears when you start doing
Yes.
what God,
Amen.
and so.
Praise God. Good one. Good testimonial. Yeah. I say we end with that. That's really